Started off as a bit of a joke. Set the tail lift down, set a chair out here, sit out if it's really sunny, catch the rays. PlayStation 5, if I'm gonna do it, I wanted to make sure I was doing it properly. Yeah, looked on eBay and saw this and just thought, that's gotta be it, that's the one. Paid £2,500 for it.
Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're meeting up with Carl, who's living in a big orange lorry.
Make sure you stick around for the inside tour because it's absolutely epic what he's done in there. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and let us know in the comments what you think.
And back to it.
Okay, so I'm Carl. This is my truck. I've been living in it for over 2 years now. Started off as a bit of a joke. I was working in a push bike shop. I'd just had enough of the normal house thing that everybody else does or whatever, and I said I'm just going to buy a truck and turn it into, at the time it was called a house box, and I started looking at them on eBay while I'm at work, and all my friends, all the work colleagues were just like, that's just out there, what are you doing? And it just progressed from there, it just carried on, but then COVID hit and put an absolute bummer on it sort of thing, because I needed to take a licence for this on my driving licence to add a 7.5 tonne. So that got cancelled over and over again during COVID. Yeah, looked on eBay and saw this and just thought, that's got to be it. That's the one. So made him an offer, got it for an absolute steal. Paid £2,500 for it. It's an ex-still truck that make all the mowers and strimmers and all that kind of stuff. And I noticed in the listing that it got a massive awning on the side. So I was already like, I'm onto a winner for that kind of money. The build was, yeah, it was to be off-grid as much as possible. Like I say, the bills in a household was just getting worse and worse, and the more you looked into this kind of life, it's so cheap. You know, like the sun's out today, so I'm like soaking it all up. All the batteries are just living the dream, which I'm quite power hungry because I've got TVs and fridge freezers and everything in here, so I'm asking a lot of the system. So yeah, to be off-grid really, yeah, it would be, that was the idea. Before this I had a Sprinter, and me and my son had been mountain bikers. We'd head over to the Alps for like a season on the ski lifts where you'd go skiing, but we use them to and ride down on his bikes. We did that for like 10 weeks one summer, just in a Sprinter, and I thought, this is the life. Like, you can do what you want, you can park up anywhere, move to the next town or whatever. And I think that got into my head a bit. So I thought, well, if I've got everything in one space, kind of blown in kind of thing. So it started from that. And then the finance things, you know, bills going up all the time. And I'm just like, yeah, I was kind of bored with it. I'd had my fill. Like I say, never look back. Not even a day, never look back. This is my truck, Mercedes, a 2005 Mercedes Atego, 7.5 tonne. It's actually an ex-still truck that you can just about see the writing off of the stickers. Needs a wash, looking a bit tired. Yeah, you need your HGV or grandfather rights. It was just a shell. It got the awning in when I bought it, and it's not changed from the outside at all really, other than little bits of boxes, storage, and put the step in and various stuff. 70,000 miles. Give or take, it's in kilometres, so yeah, not very good at that. I've got my solar on top, which is 1400 watts of solar, so 4 big panels, 3 roof vents, and it's just a fiberglass roof, so I've had to make a bit of a roof rack kind of thing to get the solar to fit up there. These points here are for the awning. The awning will come out, well, it's a 6-metre awning, and it'll come out quite a way. This is just an add-on, it's a slap lock just for security side of things. Stop the dog from getting out. The other thing that I've added is this fold away step. Bits of storage underneath here in these boxes. This is my grey water, so I can put a hose pipe on it and get rid of that. Again, another box. So the idea of this is, a lot of people think that that's a bed up there, which it isn't. I've just created that bit of a space so I can open the back door and just look out to wherever I've parked. Set the tail lift down. I've got loads of storage underneath, bikes, set a chair out here, sit out if it's really sunny, catch the rays. Pretty good actually when this is up and I'm sat up there. Even when it's raining, you can kind of sit outside and stay dry. That's like an absolute epic moment, that you can just sit and watch the rain and just soak it all up really. Just mainly storage, garage compartment, bits and bobs. We've got a generator in there if I'm really stuck for power. It's the reason why it's covered up. Another reason for this is when it's up and it's shut, turned off and locked up, and it's more security again for the bikes. There's a few in there and they're all locked up and anchored to the wall and stuff, so they're going nowhere. And all being well, I'm either in it or on a bike. So with it being quite big, I've got just these two spots which have linked up to the reverse light. They'll just floodlight wherever I'm reversing or whatever I'm reversing into. All being well, nothing. The two little white things, they're Wi-Fi aerials from a router. That one looks a bit sad, but it's actually the better one of the two. That found a tree probably on the way up here many moons ago. But if it works, don't fix it. Yeah, so when I'm sat up there, I can look over and, well, at the minute, we're actually just watching all the trees changing colour. This week, this is all started happening. So any season in this particular spot is just incredible, incredible.
And do you go for a swim in there?
You shouldn't do. With it being a reservoir, that's the only trouble.
Is there anything notable on that side?
No, there's nothing. It's just literally just a box van. That's the idea, that I wanted it to look like that, stealth wise, yeah. Well, orange stealth. Obviously bought it orange, and the idea was to build, and then once I got to the stage and paint it, but it become a thing, and more so this where I park here. Everybody knows it, but at the same time, yeah, it's bright orange and it's in your face, but I class it as quite stealthy because it's got no windows, and when everything's shut up, unless you notice all the solar on the roof and stuff, there'll be a lot of people that just think it's a truck that's run out of driving hours. Because it's a HGV, you're only limited to so many hours. In actual fact, if I was asked to move on, they might have questioned, well, even if I ask, he might have run out of hours and can't move anyway. A very weird stealth. But yeah, for me it works. As for work in a car garage, I'm a mechanic. So I head back, maybe during the winter it's 5 days. In the summer, if I'm not gonna plan to get away and travel, it'll be like 3 days, maybe even less. Try and get up here as much as I can. As for parking, I'll move back to near where I work. There's a couple of places I can park, 2 or 3 minutes walk from work. So I'm quite lucky there as well. It's not that bad to park. It's a big thing, but if it's planned and you get there early enough, you're away. As for the living the rat race, exactly that. In a house, you're working to pay your bills, and it was just no fun. I felt limited that I've got to buy that or I've got to pay that bill, so can I afford to really go away at the weekend, where it's not a question now because I've just moved my house to wherever I want to take it. Everything seems to have slowed down loads. Like there's no pressure, or if I decide to go somewhere, Wales or whatever, I just get there when I get there. If I want to stop, find somewhere, stop and go a bit further next time or whatever. Yeah, very lucky to make this life. Yeah, I've made this life. Yeah, very lucky for that. Yeah, grateful as well. Yes, my life's changed from it, but then at the same time, more the locations rather than my life. I should imagine in the camper van world that your life would change to go full time because you haven't got TVs and stuff like that, which is nice. But when I decided that I'm going to go and do it, I was like, I might as well go the whole hog. Like, I do want a PlayStation and surround sound and all that kind of stuff. So it's not quite camper van. Yeah, it's kind of cheating if anything. Yeah, really comfortable way to live. I class it as probably it's got a similar footprint to like an apartment in London or something, and the same facilities really, other than the composting loo and stuff. Everything else is just a normal household setup really. So it's just me and the dog, and my son will come every now and again. He's 17 now, so he's got lots going on, so I just leave him to it. A lot of the time I'm just up here with the dog and walking and riding and whatever else. Welcome to the truck. If you want to come in, by all means fill your boots. So yeah, this is the front of the truck. Obviously the shower and toilet in there. Ottoman bed frame that I just pulled the bed apart and built it myself. So it's got all the storage, batteries and various stuff under there, all the electronic components all under there. Fan for obviously when you need a bit of air moving around. I've got my Mac that I can use as TV. Storage for all my clothes at the top. So quick peek of the loo. It's going to be a wet room style of thing, but work in progress. Like I say, I've got a couple of ideas of heat exchanging my diesel heater to warm the water, and it's going to be filtered with all the filters that are down there, so it's going to be recycling the water. Yeah, just a couple of hooks and my dream catcher. Same again here. Can't have too many coats, especially during winter. Just put them on instead of turning the heating on. Again, saving money.
Cool. And what's the choice of design? You've gone for the like OSB board, is it?
Yeah, the OSB was. I saw a lot of people in the bike trade actually using it for the stands when they're trying to sell the products and stuff, and I just thought that looks really nice. And then it's all glued together, so it's waterproof, and you can even just screw something to it and it'll hold it up, a shelf, whatever. So it's just really good material to use. And then I've got insulation behind that, which is, I think it's like 80 mil of insulation all over the truck. When it's cold outside, it's maybe 8 degrees warmer in here without any heating whatsoever. Again, not having any windows, I'm not soaking in the heat when it's hot outside. It can't get in, so it keeps everything a lot cooler, which is brilliant for the dog. And got a couple of vents coming from underneath, so that's my diesel heater there. This one comes from underneath the truck, big fan blower, which is just for cooling. I can turn that onto a thermostat and it'll come in and out, sort of again for the dog. Smoke alarm. And this is the push button to release the door lock so you can get out, and that's almost the control panel for all that. Again, storage. I love to cook, so I've got loads of bits and bobs that I can grab. Recently just put this shelf up, a bit more of an area to cook with. I've got my Max air fan, my light, and another work in progress is I'm going to try and get the Nest to communicate with diesel heaters and stuff, so I can Wi-Fi turn them on and off. So the kitchen was a must. It had to be usable. I love cooking, so this is it. Just put your normal household stuff in. This is a camper van oven and grill. Everything else cooking wise is just your normal household stuff. All the spices and stuff up there. Like, again, love to cook. New addition is the air fryer, which is questionable at times. I can't actually have the TV on as well as the air fryer at the minute. It's asking for too much power. Another work in progress. Got to have a full size fridge freezer because you've got to keep your beer cool, and that's just working as 240. I do plan to put an inverter in the back of it so it'll work off 24 volt, which this truck is 24 volt setup rather than a 12 volt normal camper van setup. The bedroom had to be a separate space. Got my son that comes and stays, so this turns into a bed. So it's kind of separating the two, and the kitchens had to go somewhere, so that landed here. So that was pretty much the reason to shut off the bedroom, and it works for me really good. This is another gas alarm. You can never have too many of them. This is the back now, so living area. Got the sofa as a normal household sofa. As you can see, I've got a PlayStation in here as well as my surround sound. Double up as shelves, which are brilliant. This is my little sitting area for when the doors open. I can look out at the back. It was all designed on having all the bikes in here. For me, into bikes, it's quite nice to even look at them, and they're a bit of a feature in itself. I like putting things on the wall randomly. So yeah, shoes and bits and all my hobbies and cleaning products. This is my internet router. I think the TV's 42 inches. All works off your Amazon Fire Cube or whatever. Sony surround sound with all the subs and speakers and various stuff. PlayStation 5, if I'm gonna do it, I wanted to make sure I was doing it properly. So I've got all the mod cons, we could say. But it's just like living in a house, so I'm cheating. That's what I say to myself, I'm just cheating. But yeah, great way to live. I'm more than comfortable, yeah, by a long way. These Max air fans and various stuff, they are all temperature controlled pretty much. I've got another diesel heater here, that's work in progress again. A lot of it is, I think most people with vans are. So with both the diesel heaters working, it's the warmest place on earth. I wouldn't say I've sacrificed anything to get here, but at the same time, you do have to sacrifice. Hard to explain that. Other than pretty much the oven, everything else is just your normal household gas stove and sinks and various stuff. So yeah, all on 240. So using quite a lot of power to do this. So the 1400 watts of solar. I've got just over 500 amp hours of batteries. Actually using a hybrid battery system. Loads of people that kind of knew a little bit about it said that I'd blow myself up within a couple of weeks. So I'm running lead acid batteries and lithium batteries running together side by side. Most, or if not all, the people in the UK said it wasn't possible, and I'm running it fine. So it's kind of a cheaper way to do the batteries because lithium are so expensive. And you've already probably got lead acid, you can just add 2 in a certain manner, and there's certain ways to do it. Don't just plug them in if anybody's watching thinking that's a good idea. People generally not asking questions, they're more intrigued where they'll say, oh, that's amazing, and I'll mention that I live in it full time, and they're like, that's so lucky. And it is, and it isn't. Like, anybody can do it. It's just the risk that you've got to take and the leap, which was massive, but you've got to do these things to reap the gains. So that's exactly what I did. You've just got to do it. You've got to bite the bullet. I was in a lucky position that I got funds to sort of do it. Favourite thing about it is just the freedom, just to be here, you know, with various park-ups, and just to be sat. Sometimes you can be sat at a lovely spot, almost like this, on your own, and you just look out, watch the sunset and think, I'm the only one that's seen this right now. So that's absolutely mind-blowing. Downsides, there really isn't. I can't even think of. Probably like just emptying grey water and stuff like that, you know, that extra bit of planning to make sure that you've got enough food in the fridge, beer or whatever, that you've got to plan forward for 4 days or more, or, you know, that's probably a bit of a downside, but generally not that bad, is it? Going forward, future-wise, somebody's going to have to persuade me pretty damn good to even get back into bricks and mortar. This is something else. More people need to see that it's possible, more than anything. And it's generally quite easy to do stuff like this. Watch a YouTube channel, somebody on YouTube doing such and such, and work it out yourself and have a go. It's hard because I'm still doing the build to put a cost on. I've got no electric bill. Water I can just pick up from almost anywhere, the pub down here or various stuff like that. Heating is just diesel. So yeah, cost of living is, yeah, saving hundreds and hundreds, even a week. I've got no electric bills which are through the roof at the minute, I believe. I'm kind of out of that now from living in this for 2 years, so I don't really know what the cost of household bills are anymore. Okay, so hope you enjoyed looking at the truck. I'm on Instagram as Bearded Sprosen, and I've got making our own look in a truck that I should be using more, but I just use my personal one. But come and follow and yeah, get onto this video. More of these are brilliant. And thanks for watching.
Alright guys, thanks for tuning in to another video there, and a big thanks for Carl for inviting us over and showing us around his place.
Make sure to check him out on social media, the links will be down below as to where to find him. And if you want to see more content like this, check these videos out here.
Let us know in the comments what you thought of that, give us a like, and we'll see you in the next video.